Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
And welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for this tribute race to Greg Biffle, who unfortunately, tragically lost his life in a plane crash on December the 18th of 2025. He, his wife, his kids all perished, plus the two pilots of that plane also um, lost their lives in that plane crash in North Carolina. So, excuse me, with that being said, condolences and prayers go out to the families of those affected, and as well as eternal rest grant upon to all those affected, and let perpetual light shine upon them. May all the souls affected in that plane crash and all the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. With that being said, we are going to be running a tribute race for the one and only Mr. Greg Biffle at the 2000s Daytona International Speedway. We're going to be running this race as a 55-turn race. And without further delay, let's get race week underway. We're going to roll these two yellow D6s to determine how many number of TV drivers that are going to be joining Greg Biffle on the TV list. And I rolled a 6, so we need at least 5 more drivers. So we're going to have Greg Biffle be the automatic gold TV driver. And joining him is Dave Rudiman, Jeff Gordon, Jeremy Mayfield, Jerry Nato, and one more, and Ken Schrader. And we will roll the red, white, and blue D6s that are right here for each of the drivers. So let me get out those TV cards, and we'll be right back at it with the start of race week. And there we go with our TV drivers at the top of the screen. And as you guys can tell, we got 6 drivers running in the TV race week. And let's get right into things, starting with Greg Biffle. And we got triple ones. So this is going to be nice. It's 11. And we will roll for the TV events guide on this booklet, as it'll be hidden off screen because of for copyright purposes. Oh, and it's going to be a TV event X for Greg Biffle. I don't know if TV event X is good or not, but we'll keep the blue die 2. It's going to be the blue die 1 and get a 33 for Biffle. 33. Oh, it's a TV event Y result. And we have a 65. Driver causes fan uproar with comments. Placement C. Oh, not good. So placement C. Trophy driver gains blue die position in middle group. So that is going to be, it was a 1 earlier, so we kept the starting 1. So it'll be here. So blue die position in middle group, 1 even. So therefore, it'll be Biffle in 8th. No performance chip. And let's get right back into things with David Rudiman, who gets a 44 and a blue die 6. Oh, it's a TV event X result. So we'll keep the blue die result as is. And we have a 54 on TV event X. Crew reorganization produces improved performance. Placement B plus performance chip. Since he's a bronze trophy driver, gains blue die position in top group. So David Rudiman will get 7th place. plus a performance chip to boot. I want to make sure we got good lighting while running this race, and hopefully no glare is hitting any piece of the track. So that being said, here's Jeff Gordon. We have a 55, and again, that is probably going to be a TV event. Yes, it is TV event X. 3 straight TV event X trips. Jeez. We'll keep the blue die of 4. And we got a 54. Crew reorganization produces improved performance. Placement B plus performance chip. So Jeff Gordon is going to take the 5th place position for today's tribute race to Greg Biffle, and he will get a performance chip. We have 3 more drivers to go. Here's Jeremy Mayfield. We got a 44. That's going to be another TV event X. I can tell, and it is. We got a 34. 34 TV event X. Rules violation placement D. Ooh, trophy driver will be placed in the bubble stack. So Jeremy Mayfield will go to the bubble stack, and it will be stacked up right here on top of the board. And now we move on to Jerry Nato with a 15. I will read from lowest to highest. 15. Oh, it's a TV interview. And we got a 16. 16. Conditions were perfect. The car was running great. Everything just came together today. Placement A, gold. So again, he's a bronze trophy. So blue die position in top group. 5th is open. So no, I don't think no performance. No performance chip. All right. And finally, we have Ken Schrader. And it's a 33. That is going to be TV event X, and I know it is. We have a 36. It's a 36. Where is it? There it is. 36 on TV event X. 36 on TV event X. Appears in daytime TV talk show. Placement C. Oh, too much talking about the race on TV. So non-trophy driver placed on top of bubble stack. So Ken Schrader will go on top of the bubble stack. And there we go with our our TV drivers for right now. And I'm going to take a quick time out while I set up our next drivers. And I will be right back. Time out. And we are back, and now we are going to determine how many drivers from the deck offset we will have for fast qualifying for this tribute race. Oh, and it looks like we're going to have 9 fast qualifiers. So grabbing from the top of the deck, we have Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Spencer, Carl Edwards, Bobby Labonte, Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, Michael Waltrip, and finally Dale Earnhardt Sr. And those drivers in the deck will be set aside. And here, no further die roll is going to be needed. So the placement is going to be as follows. Gold position. Gold trophy will get the pole position or highest available position in top group. Silver is, of course, high available position in top group. Bronze is high available position in middle group, and no trophy drivers are next position in bottom group. So with that being said, going from Kenseth, so bronze is always top Always the highest available position in middle group, so Kenseth will qualify in 9th. And look at that. Tony Stewart is a gold driver. He will get the pole to begin this race. Jimmy Spencer will be in 20th place. Carl Edwards will be in 2nd place. Silver driver is always in top group, so Bobby Labonte will be in 3rd place. Kyle Busch will be in 4th. Clint Boyer will race himself to 10th. And again, when the group is all filled up, it just pushes over one. So gold, silver, any remainder bronze trophy drivers. So et cetera, et cetera. And of course, bronze, again, top position in middle group. So Michael Waltrip will get 11th, and Dale Sr. will get 12th place, while Jimmy Spencer will qualify in 20th. So hang on a sec for right there, and I will come back, set it up all in the system, and I will be right back for slow qualifying right after this quick timeout. And we are back for our slow qualifiers, and let's see how many slow qualifiers we will get for this race. We only will have 4 slow qualifiers, and so we're going to pick off the top of the deck one by one. Sterling Marlin, oh no. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Burton, and Terry Labonte are all your slow qualifiers. So any non-trophy drivers, it says, will fail to qualify for the race. So Terry Labonte will be the first driver to unofficially qualify for this race. But Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, any gold position will be in the bottom group. And Jeff Burton will go to the bubble stack. So Rusty Wallace will qualify in 21st, and then the remainder of the cars from the top of the deck will be put in order right after this quick timeout. And with that being said, all the drivers for right now have been put into the system. So far, the ones who did not qualify are Terry Labonte, and with that being said, let's fill up this race, this tribute race here as we get see here. So silver driver is always highest available position in top. In silver driver is always highest available position in middle group. Gold will also be highest available position since top group is already filled in. The rest are going to go to the bottom. Bronze will go to the bottom group, and non-trophy drivers are going to go to the bubble stack. So with that being said, Ricky Rudd is a silver driver. Highest, it will be in 13th. Johnny Benson will go to bubble. There we go. Ricky Craven will be in the bubble. Kevin Harvick will be in 14th. Robbie Gordon will be in the bubble. Jeff Green will be in the bubble. John Andretti will be in the bubble. Scott Riggs will go in 22nd. Casey Kane, 15th. Joey Logano in 16th. Jimmy Johnson will go in 17th. Bill Elliott will be in 23rd. Ryan Newman, 18th. And Kurt Busch in 19th. And the rest will just fill out one by one. Steve Park, bubble. Denny Hamlin, 24th. Ward Burton in 25th. 26th. Bobby Hamilton will be in the bubble. Joe Nemechek will be in 26th. Dale Jarrett, 27th. Mike Skinner, 28th. Brian Vickers, 29th. Jamie McMurray in 30th. Elliott Sadler, 31st. JP Montoya in 31st. And you saw it, Martin Truex Jr. in 33rd. Mark Martin in 34th. Dale Jr. in 35th. Dave Blaney Bubble. And Brian Keselowski, 36th. And finally, Casey Mears into the bubble stack. So from the bubble, we take these drivers and put whatever's and I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. So with that being said, the remaining drivers that are going to qualify are Ken Schrader, Jeremy Mayfield, Sterling Marlin, Jeff Burton in 40th, Johnny Benson Jr. in 41st, Ricky Craven in 42nd, and Robbie Gordon will qualify in 43rd. It's a 43-man race. And these are the remaining drivers who failed to qualify. Jeff Green, John Andretti, Steve Park, Bobby Hamilton, Dave Blaney, and Casey Mears. All who failed to qualify. And we will be back for the start of the race in just a few short moments. But first, let's have a little thank you to our Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's tribute race to Greg Biffle. And without further delay, let's get right to it. The green flag is about to be waved in the air, and let's get to it for this tribute race to Greg Biffle. And turn one is about to get underway. So again, for the game, I'm going to be rolling the green D6s to let you guys see the results from the metallic dice. And again, we are racing at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. And without further delay, they're coming to green. And let's go racing. And we're going to begin with a top group challenge for 5, 6, 7, 8. That's for control. So top group for control. So currently, Jerry Nato will start us off. And of course, he's going to pass. And right away, Jerry Nato is going to unseat Tony Stewart from the bot from the pole position from the first place position, as he needed a four or less to stay in first place. We rolled a blue 5 as Jerry Nato is now your leader so far. Here is Jeff Gordon, who early on has a chip. He will pass his gas check. but it will not be enough to keep Jerry Nato for long in first place, as Jeff Gordon has now taken the early lead. And we move on now to Bobby Labonte. 5 is going to pass, and he will successfully defend on a blue die 2 on his brake pedals. And now we move on to Carl Edwards, who has 2 challenges for control. 3, he will pass, but a blue die 1, he will defend. He has 1 more chance. A 3 will pass, and a 2, blue die 2, will defend. So that is it for turn 1. And at the end of the first turn, Jeff Gordon is now your race leader as we head into turn number 2. We got a bottom group challenge, and it's a 9. Bottom group challenge 9. Okay, so that's for heat. So we are going to begin with Robbie Gordon for heat. Red dice 6 will fail. Craven doesn't have it. Benson doesn't have it. Burton has it. Jeff Burton has our next challenge. He will pass, going for 2 odd. 2 odd, that's Michael Waltrip. And he's going to unseat Waltrip to move from 40th to all the way to 11th place. Holy cow, what a big jump that was. We now move on to Jeremy Mayfield. We'll keep the 2. The 5 will fail. Let's see here. Schrader doesn't have it. Kozlowski doesn't have it. Excuse me. Martin doesn't have it. Truex, no. JP Montoya, this is for heat. Yes, 9 is for heat. So JP Montoya's next challenge is our next challenger. He's going to pass, going for 4 even. That is Kevin Harvick. And he's going to unseat Harvick. As JP Montoya moves up from 32nd to 14th place early on in this race. Up next in our final challenge for heat will be Denny Hamlin. Red 1 will pass, going for 2 even, or excuse me, 2 odd, I should say. And 2 odd, that's Jeff Burton. Blue 6 is going to consider it to be an automatic win. So Denny Hamlin and Jeff Burton are going to swap places as Denny Hamlin gets out of the bottom group. And we finish up turn number 2 with Jeff Gordon in the lead. We go to turn number 3 here at Daytona. And it looks like a top group challenge. Oh, it's for trouble. So I think you would do a problem right after if you roll doubles. Let me just see here. I think on... Let me just double check that. I don't think you do, but let me know in the comments down below if you do a trouble, if you do a problem on doubles. I think I'm going to play it that way. So I think for right now, I'm just going to do the trouble. And if it's... Hang on a sec, guys, while I figure this out here. If you roll doubles, I'm trying to remember. So again, this is for top group trouble. Top group trouble. I don't think you would do it, but I'm gonna say no for that. Only I only think on triples you would do such thing. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Jeff Gordon. So we're gonna move on with the trouble result. So Jeff Gordon is needs an escape of since we're at Daytona, he needs an escape of 6 or less. And he's gonna get collected, but he has a chip and he will avoid uh uh any further trouble. Carl Edwards needs a 9 or less, which he will get it. 7 or less on Bobby Labonte. 5, 6, 7, 8. So he is collected. Kyle Busch, 7 or less. He is good. NATO, 6 or less. He's good. Tony Stewart, 9 or less. He's good. And finally, Dave Rudderman, 7 or less. 5, 6, 7. Yep, he will keep the chip. And everyone else moves up. Up here, and it looks like only one car was collected. And I do believe that is going to force. If one or more cars are collected on a trouble result, a yellow flag will come out. This will trigger the need to fill in the gap and 1 or 2 yellow flag turns. If 1 or 2 cars are involved, there's 1 yellow flag turn. If more than 2 cars are involved, there are 2 yellow. Okay. So since there was only 1 yellow flag turn since there was only 1 car collected, there's going to be 1 yellow flag turn coming up for this for this troubles turn. And again, if you would like to order yourself a copy of this game, go. I'll leave the link to the game in the description box below if you want to just check it out mainly for yourself. Recommend even if you're not a racing fan or if you're just a casual racing fan in general, this game will be really fun to play, even if you're not if you're not fond of NASCAR racing. So with that being said, let's move on to see who will move up into the middle group. Spencer needs a 4 or less. Nope. Rusty Wallace, 3 or less. Nope. Scott Riggs, 3 or less. Nope. Bill Elliott, 5 or less. And Bill Elliott will skate on up. And I'm going to take a quick timeout to move everyone up from the bottom group, and we'll resolve the repairs in just a moment. Time up. And there we go. And we are back. And now let's settle the repairs for Bobby Labonte, as he is a grade B. Yes, grade B. And we're in the first third of the race. And again, we're playing this in stages. The first third of the race will be from. Let's see here. First third of the race will end at turn 18. Middle third of the race will end at turn 37. And finally, the third stage will go all the way up until the race ends at turn 55. With that being said, Let's roll for the repairs. So Bobby Labonte is a B, pick crew grade in the first third, +1, so 11 or less, and he is good to come back into the race. And the yellow flag will be issued. And after 3 turns, your race leader is still Mr. Jeff Gordon. As we go to turn 4 here in this tribute race to Greg Biffle. Oh, and we got a duel. So it's our first duel of the game, first duel of the race. It'll be between the 5 car in the top group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. David Runeman, and I think he's going to challenge Jeff Gordon for the lead. Here. So 3 or less, he will have a chip to spend to win the duel, and Jeff Gordon will need a roll for the escape, as David Runeman will skate on in, or excuse me, Jeff Gordon will need to roll of an escape of 6 or less, and he is good to stay in the race. And again, I'm not using Feud or Fuming. Not using the Feud or Fumes for this race. As this is a formal exhibition race and as well as a tribute race to Greg Biffle. So with that being said, at the end of 4 turns, your new race leader is David Runeman. As we head to turn number 5 of this 55-turn race. And let's get right back into it with a top group challenge. And it looks like an 8. It's for control. So it looks like for control, who's going to begin here? It looks like Mr. Jeff Gordon is going to begin these challenges for control. He will pass, and he will unseat Dave Runeman from the first place position, and he is back into the lead for right now. It was for control. Stewart, no, this is Jerry Nato. A red 6 will fail, and Kyle Busch doesn't have it, but Carl Edwards does. So Carl Edwards will race with his first challenge here on Gordon. He will pass, and he will unseat Jeff Gordon from the lead. So Carl Edwards will unseat Jeff Gordon from the lead here, as we will go now to turn number 6 here in this 55-turn race for our tribute to Greg Biffle. Middle group for, middle group challenge. This is the roll. Middle group challenge for heat. So it looks like our first challenger is going to be Casey Kane. And let's see what he gets. He passes immediately with a red 1. He's going after driver number 1, which is Jeff Gordon. He will successfully defend. And now we go on to JP Montoya for his challenges. A red 6 will fail. Rudd doesn't have it. Earnhardt doesn't have it. Denny Hamlin will have the next challenge for heat. He will pass, going for car 3. That's Nato. He will unseat Jerry Nato. from still in the top 10 from 4th place. Matt Kenseth will be our final driver for Heat, as he will pass, going for car 3. Of course, that's Denny Hamlin. He needs a 1 or 2 to defend, but no, it's a blue 3, and Matt Kenseth will succeed in bumping Hamlin to 4th place. And after the 6th turn of the race, that is going to be our first pit stop of the race. We come to our first pit stop as let's see who is going to be swapping out. Okay, so we have 3 and 5. So I believe so the roll is 5 and a 3. Let me pull up the pits in here. There we go. If you roll doubles, instead of switching positions, the drivers in that numbered box have committed pit rules violations and must move to the end of the bottom group. Use the black die for the fast pit to determine which group the drivers commit pit violations. So, for example, how can I tell? So on pit violations, move the drivers to the end of the bottom group. So the fast pit with a 5 is going to be, let me pull up cheat sheet here. Sorry about that, to keep you guys waiting. We roll a 5, top and middle group plus race leader. So it looks like we roll a 5, so top and middle groups. The race leader is just on its own. But David Rudderman plus Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman all have committed pit violations, and we will move everybody up. Excuse me, we'll move everybody up 1 spot. And timeout while I move everybody around. Timeout. All right, so 3 drivers have committed pit violations. Redeman, Jimmy Johnson, and Ryan Newman will move to the bottom, to the back of the bottom group. So with that being said, let's see who moves from the middle, who moves from the bottom group to 17th, 18th, and 19th, starting with Jimmy Spencer, 4 or less. He will move. Rusty Wallace, 3 or less. Yes, he will move. And Scott Riggs, 3 or less. No. Jeff Burton, 4 or less. Yes. So Jeff Burton will all move on up, and we will take yet another timeout while I reorder the cars, and then we will do our fast pits. Timeout. And there we go. And with that being said, let's get right into our fast pits. And again, I will roll the cream D6s there we go. These cream D6s to determine the best pits, and it was from the top and middle group plus race leader. So race leader Carl Edwards is going to get an opportunity. So 10 or less. So he gets a chip. Jeff Gordon, 9 or less. 5, 6, 7, 8. He is good. Kyle Busch, 8 or less. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. That is going to be in yet another chip for Kyle Busch. Matt Kenseth needs a 9 or less, which he will get it. We're on Tony Stewart, 10 or less. If we got a 5, that'll be a chip for Tony Stewart. Biffle, no, needs a 5 or less. And Hamlin, 9 or less. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So Biffle and Hamlin will be the only. Biffle will be the only driver to swap places with Denny Hamlin. And let's see who in the top group is going to challenge for the race lead. 1, Jeff Gordon. And he will pass. So he keeps his chip, but it was a bad defense by Carl Edwards, but he's going to spend his chip to maintain the race lead. And coming out of the pits, Carl Edwards is going to be your race leader as we head to turn number 8 of this race. We got a middle group challenge for reflex. Here was the roll. Oops. 2, there we go. So middle group challenge for reflex. And let's see who's going to be the first to challenge. And it looks like it'll be Jeff Burton to challenge first. He will fail with a red 5. Rusty Wallace is next. He will fail with a red 4. Spencer, no. Elliott, no. Kurt Busch will challenge. And a red 6 will not do so. Logano, no. Casey Kane is up next. He will pass, going for Denny Hamlin. And he successfully defends. He will keep his chip with a blue 2. Montoya, no. Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd is up next. He will fail. Going to Dale Sr. Red 6 will fail. And finally, Clint Boyers, 2 challenges for reflex. Here's the first. Pass on a red 2. Going for Greg Biffle, who will be unseated in the first challenge. And that is going to be it for turn number 8. And your leader still is going to be Carl Edwards. Here we go. Turn number 9. We have a top group challenge for control. Top group challenge for control. We're going to begin, of course, with Clint Boyer. Pass and a successful defense by Carl Edwards. Here's Denny Hamlin. He will fail, but he does have a chip, so I think he will. This is for control. 8, 6, 7. Yes, control. So Matt Kenseth will have a next turn, but Denny Hamlin's going to spend his chip to get into the lead. And here comes Matt Kenseth, as he has 2 challenges for control. He will win. He will do that. Excuse me. He will pass on the gas, which is a red 2. Denny needs a 3 or less to defend. Unfortunately, Matt Kenseth will hang on to his chip and slide on in to first place. here at Daytona in this tribute race to Greg Biffle. So now Jeff Gordon will be the final challenger here. He will pass, and a good successful defense by Matt Kenseth. And I think Gordon is going to keep his chip. So will Matt Kenseth. And we will move on to the next turn. But Matt Kenseth, from out of nowhere, is going to take the lead as we head to the 10th turn of this race. And let's go there right now. Top group challenge. And it's for TV drivers. So it looks like, Jeff Gordon's the only TV driver in the top group, which he'll pass. And of course, Matt Kenseth will will have a successful defense. And again, Jeff Gordon being the nice guy, hopefully nice guy that he is, he will keep his chip for future reasons. And Matt Kenseth will stay in the lead as we head to turn number 11. Middle group challenge for Star. It looks like Rusty Wallace is going to lead us off here for Star. That's a good challenge. Going for 4, that is Tony Stewart. And a good successful defense, so he doesn't need to spend the chip. Bill Elliott will be our next challenger. Good. Going for Gordon. And yeah, good. It's within his brake range of a 2. And he will hang on to his chip. Next challenger will be Casey Kane. 4 is going to be good against car number 4. And yes, Tony Stewart is there, but he does have a chip, and he's going to use it to keep Casey Kane in the middle group. And we are going to go to Dale Sr., Dale Earnhardt, as he has 2 challenges. Pass, going for car 5, that's Carl Edwards. And good successful defense on challenge 1. Here's challenge number 2. Red 4, he passes. Going for car number 2, that's Kyle Busch. And a blue 2, he will successfully defend. And that is going to, Greg Biffle. I forgot. Greg Biffle, this is for, 4, 5, 6. Yes, for Star. So Greg Biffle has a chance now. And a red 6 is going to end up costing him a challenge. And that is going to be it for that turn. And still your leader is Matt Kenseth. We head to turn number 12 with a top group challenge for Reflex. Top group challenge for Reflex. And it looks like Clint Boyer is going to lead us off, as he will pass. And a successful defense with a blue 4 for Matt Kenseth. That's challenge 1. Here's challenge 2. And a red 6 will fail. Here's Carl Edwards. 4, yes. And a blue 6 will be an automatic win. But Matt Kenseth has a chip, and he's going to spend it, just what Jeff Gordon planned. This is for Reflex, yep. So we move on to Tony Stewart. And a red 6 is not going to work. Denny Hamlin is next. Red 3, he passes. And a 4 on the blue die will be a good defense. Up next will be Kyle Busch. He has 2 challenges. Let me re-roll all those dice to make it be fair. 2, yes. And yes, a 6 will unseat Kenseth, as Kyle Busch, with his lone chip, will get himself into the lead. And finally, with Reflex, correct? Yep, Reflex. 2 challenges coming up for Jeff Gordon. He will pass on the red die and a save on the second one. Here's the second challenge. Oh, pass. And Kyle Busch is going to waste his chip and to keep Jeff Gordon in second place for right now. And that's going to do it. So Kyle Busch is your race leader through 12 turns of this tribute race to Greg Biffle. 18. We go now to turn number 13. And let's see what we got. So middle group. Oh, and it's for trouble. Trouble in the middle group. Okay, so let's see if anybody can escape. 7 or less for Biffle. He can't. So it would be embarrassing if Biffle were to exit. 4, so 3 or less. Oh, right on it. Dale Senior, 7 or less. Oh, excuse me. 6 or less. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're rolling for the escape. So he is caught. So 1 turn. 1 yellow flag has already been called. Ricky Rudd needs a 5 or less. So 2 yellow flag turns are coming up, folks. And just to make sure, there we go. 2 yellow flag turns are coming up. JP Montoya needs a 7 or less. And he gets it. 6 or less on Casey Kane. He gets it. Logano, 8 or less. Yes, he does. 7, Kurt Busch, 6 or less. Kurt Busch will be collected. Let's see. Bill Elliott will need a 8 or less. He is safe. He's safe with a 6. 5 or less for Spencer. Nope, Jimmy Spencer is collected. And Rusty Wallace needs a 6 or less. He is collected. And Jeff Burton needs a 7 or less, which he will stay put. All right. So with that being said, NATO and the rest will all move on up. So from the bottom group, let's see who is going to advance. So 6 drivers are going to move on up. Riggs, a 3 or less. Yes, he will. Burton, a 4 or less. He will advance. He will move on up. Nemechek, a 4 or less. He is good. Dale Jarrett and needs a 5 or less. He is good. Excuse me, Mike Skinner needs a 3 or less. No. Vickers, 3 or less. No. McMurray, 4 or less. No. Sadler, 4 or less. No. Oh, yes. Sorry. Excuse me. Yes. Kevin Harvick, 4 or less. Nope. Martin Truex, a 3 or less. And he will move on up. So timeout while I rearrange the drivers, and we'll be right back to see who is going to stay in the race and who is out. Timeout. There we go. All nice and ready to go. So with that being said, let's roll for repairs. So there we go. On a so Ricky Rudd, sorry, not Ricky Rudd, sorry, Greg Biffle with a B needs to have a 11 or less, which he will stay in the race, but gets bumped to the bottom group. And Dale Earnhardt with a, so he's automatically back in no matter what happens with the die rolls. Away, there we go. No matter what happens in the die roll, he's automatically back in. D, a 9 or less for Ricky Rudd. He's back in. Kurt Busch needs he's automatically back in. D8, so a 9. Excuse me, a 9. This is trouble. 9. Yeah, 9 or less. Yes, Jimmy Spencer is back in. And Rusty Wallace with a B, 11 or less. He is good. So all cars are staying in the race. Just a minor fix. And 2 caution flags are coming up as Kyle Busch is still your race leader as we head to turn number 15 of this race. As we head to turn, sorry about that, the camera was not in focus. So we move on to the next turn, which is turn 15. And we got ourselves a top group challenge for control. Top group for control, and it looks like we have Clint Boyer to lead us off. A red die 5 is going to fail. Let's see here for control. Yep. Yeah, for control. So Carl Edwards has 2 challenges. Here's the first. He'll fail on the first. Here's the second. He will pass on the second. And he will be bumped into first place. So Kyle Busch is moved to 6 as Carl Edwards is back into the lead now. And we move on to Denny Hamlin, who has 1 challenge for control, which he will pass on his gas. And that is going to unseat Carl Edwards for right now, as Denny Hamlin is now in the race lead. And it looks like, Matt Kenseth has 2 challenges, which he will pass. And it will be enough for a successful defense for Hamlin. Kenseth has 1 more challenge. And a red 6 will not do it. And Jeff Gordon has 1 more crack at it. He will pass on the red 2. And a good defense by Denny Hamlin, but Jeff Gordon has a chip. He will use it to get into the lead. And Jeff Gordon is now your race leader. Nice move by using nice awareness to use that blue chip wisely. So Jeff Gordon is back in the lead, and we now go to turn 16 for this tribute race to Greg Biffle. Middle group. And it looks like middle group. Oh, middle group TV. So the only TV driver in the group is Jerry Nato. He will successfully pass. And he's going after Clint Boyer. And he will unseat Clint Boyer. So both guys switch places. And that is going to be it for turn 16. And we now head to turn 17 with our next pit stop, and with Jeff Gordon in the lead. Let's see if I can get some good rolls here for you guys. Okay, so we got a 1 and a 1 and 6. So it looks like 1 and 6 will flip-flop in both top and middle groups. And fast pit for 1 on a black 1. Top group plus race leader. So it's time for the fast pits. Let's see if Jeff Gordon can gain another chip. A 9 or less will do it. He will. Jeff Gordon will get a chip. 4 or less for NATO. He will get a chip. Kenseth, 9 or less. Kenseth will get a chip. Carl Edwards, 10 or less. Of course, he's going to get a chip on a roll of a 4. Stewart, 10 or less. I roll a 5. He gets a chip. Oop, there we go. Kyle Busch, 8 or less. Yes, he will get a chip. And finally, Denny Hamlin with a 9 or less. Yep, all drivers in the top group will get chips, and nobody flip-flops. But let's see who from the top group will challenge Jeff Gordon for the lead. It'll be driver number 2. Driver number 2, Matt Kenseth will challenge. He will pass, and that's going to be a successful defense. And I think Kenseth is going to be wise to keep his chip, even though with Jeff Gordon in the lead. So I think that is probably going to be the smart play. Yeah, I think that's going to be the smart play heading out of the pit stop with Jeff Gordon in the lead. And we head to turn 18. This is the final turn of stage 1. We have a bottom group challenge for skill. Bottom group challenge for skill. And it looks like Jimmy Spencer is going to lead us off. Red 6 will fail. Ricky Rudd will be our next challenger. Red 2 will pass, going for 2 even. That is Casey Kane. Yes, he will unseat Casey. As Ricky Rudd is back into the middle group. This is for, want to make sure, yes, for skill. Dale Sr. Pass on the red 1, going for 5 odd. That is Dale Jarrett. And with a blue 2, that is going to unseat Dale Jarrett from the 17th position. And we move on to the man of the hour, Greg Biffle, who we honored today with a tribute race in his honor. He has 2 challenges for skill. First is going to fail. And the second one is going to fail. Oh, man, that sucks. So Ryan Newman now has a chance to move on up. He has 2 challenges as well. The first one will pass, 1 even. That is Elliott Sadler. And yes, he will unseat Mr. Sadler. As Newman is back up into the middle group. Jimmy Johnson with his challenge for skill. He will pass, going for 5 even. That is Joe Nemechek. And that is going to be enough to move Jimmy Johnson into 16th place near the end of stage 1 of this tribute race for Greg Biffle. David Rudderman now with skill. He will fail with the red 4. Bobby Labonte will be next. Pass on the red 2, 1 even. Brian Newman. That's going to be enough to unseat Newman. As Newman goes falling back into the bottom group, I should say. As we continue on with Ricky Craven. He will fail the red 5. And up next is going to be Michael Waltrip with 2 challenges. And a red 6 will fail on challenge 1. And another red 6 will fail on challenge 2. Sterling Marlin. Red 6 will fail. Ken Schrader will be next. Red 5 will fail. Brad Keselowski. It looks like a 5. Yeah, red 5 will fail. Dale Jr. A red 5 will fail. Mark Martin. He passes 1 even. That's Bobby Labonte. And yes, he will pass. He will unseat Bobby Labonte for 8th place. And we have 2 more challengers. Jamie McMurray. Yes, that'll pass. 3 even. Bill Elliott is going to be unseated by Jamie McMurray as he goes from 12th to 22nd. And Jamie McMurray will move from 22nd to 12th. And finally, Brian Vickers. And a 4 will fail. And that is going to be the end of turn number 18 with Jeff Gordon in the lead. Stay tuned for the second stage coming up in just a matter of moments. But first, let's say a little bit of thank you for our Play Games sponsors for sponsoring today's tribute race to Greg Biffle, played with red, white, and blue Racin. We would like to take this time to say a little bit of thank you to our Play Games sponsors for sponsoring today's race as part of Let's Go Red, White, and Blue Racin'. This race is being brought to you by ProGrip Power Tools. At ProGrip Tools, we know that you value durable, long-lasting tools that stand up to heavy use, which is why we carry a complete line of tools guaranteed to last much beyond our exclusive lifetime warranty. ProGrip, where the pros go to advise the amateurs to stay away. And by Lit Energy, the official energy drink of the Play Games community, and then Let's Go Red, White, and Blue Racin'. And welcome back, everybody, to the tribute race for Greg Biffle, played at the 2000s Daytona International Speedway using red, white, and blue racing. Here are your race update through the first stage, as we have now reached turn 19. Jeff Gordon started out as your race leader. Or excuse me, I think it was Tony Stewart that started the race and the pole position. Then Jeff Gordon unseated him around turn number 1. On the first turn. Then the Dave Ruddiman would come in to take over in turn number 4, and he would only spend that that time in first place for 1 turn, as Carl Edwards would take over for about around turn 5, and would do so for the next 4 turns before being unseated by a lot of switches. But coming out of the turn, it was Matt Kenseth who coming into the lead. And then, of course, at turn 12, it was Kyle Busch that would take the lead once again at turn 12. And then, of course, at turn 15, Jeff Gordon never looked back as he unseated Kyle Busch and is currently your leader as we head to the second stage of action, as this is how things stood through 18 turns. And with that being said, let's play stage 2. We come to green and let's go racing. We're going to begin with a middle group in the second stage with a middle group challenge for Smart of an 11 for Smart. And it looks like JP Montoya is going to start us off. A red 5 will not do it. Boyer doesn't have it, but Dale Earnhardt Sr. has it. He has Smart. Here's his challenge. He passes with a red 3, going after car number 5. That's Kyle Busch. And he's got a blue 3. He's got a 2. And guess what? Kyle Busch has a chip, even though that Dale Earnhardt won the challenge. Kyle Busch will spend the chip to keep Dale Sr. at bay. And then we have 2 more challenges. First coming from Joey Logano. And a red 6 won't do it. And here's Truex with our final challenge for Smart. And he will fail on a red 4. And that is going to be it for turn 19. And after 19 turns, Jeff Gordon is still in the lead. And let's see and find out what is coming up next on turn 20. And timeout while I go get the dice, the black dice that just fell off the table. Be right back. Timeout. And there we go. I found my black die that just fell off the table. And we are just about set and ready to go for turn 20. And we got a duel in the next on this turn, and we got ourselves a 5 and a 6. That's an 11. The number 3 cars in the middle group, that is Jeff Burton and Jamie McMurray. I think they're going to challenge. I think Jeff Burton is going to try to challenge for Kyle Busch and see if he passes. And he does on a 5. So Jeff Burton, actually that will fail. I'm sorry. So he will try to escape here in just a few moments. Jamie McMurray will get his chance at Busch. Less than a 4. No, and he too will also try to roll for the escape. So -1 on the escape. So both need a 7 or less. First Burton. 5, 6, 7. Yes, got it. And McMurray, same, 7 or less. And he also has it. And that is going to be it for that turn. And your race leader after 20 turns is Jeff Gordon. We go now to turn 21. Oops. Re-roll as the dice fell out of the box for free. So we got a top group challenge for 9. That's Heat. And it looks like Denny Hamlin is going to lead us off for the challenges here. Again, Jeff Gordon. A red 1 will pass, and it will be a successful defense. But But Denny Hamlin also has a chip, even though he successfully won the challenge. He can still use his chip to win, to unseat Gordon. But if he does, Jeff Gordon is going to waste his chip to keep Hamlin there. So Hamlin will keep his chip, and we will move on to the next driver, which is Kyle Busch. And a red 5 is not going to cut it. And let's see here. Tony Stewart is next. He will fail on the red 5. Matt Kenseth is our last challenger here in the top group. He will pass with his gas rating out of the red 2. And Jeff Gordon is going to spend his chip to keep Matt Kenseth at bay. Even though he still has a chip, Jeff Gordon wasted his, and that is going to be it to keep Sorry about that. To keep dice fell on the floor. To keep Matt Kenseth at bay through 21 turns of this race. We go on to turn 22. We're at Daytona, and it's going to be a top group challenge once again. This time, it's going to be for control, and I rolled an 8. So, with control, Denny Hamlin will lead us off. He'll pass, and that's going to unseat Jeff Gordon. So, Jeff Gordon, so this is for 6, 7, 8 for control. Kyle Busch doesn't have it, so Carl Edwards will be next. As Denny Hamlin will now be seated into the pole position. And we will see what Carl Edwards can do, as he has 2 challenges for control. The 4 is going to do so. And I had a 5 there. Yep. Denny Hamlin. That's a successful challenge, but Denny Hamlin is going to waste his chip to keep him at bay for the first challenge. And here's the second challenge for Carl Edwards. He'll pass again, but it's going to be a successful defense for Hamlin. But Carl Edwards is going to waste his chip to unseat Denny Hamlin from the lead here at Daytona. And we will move on to Matt Kenseth, who has 2 challenges as well. A red 6 will fail on the first. And a red 2 will pass. And a 4, 5, yep. He will keep his chip, and that will be, oh, nope, not it, as Jerry Nato has control as well. So Matt Kenseth will unseat Carl Edwards here in the late stages of this turn. And of course, now it's all up to Jerry Nato. Can he unseat Matt Kenseth? And he will not, but he does have a chip, and I think he will do the smart thing and keep his chip for better results than they appear to be. So again, at the end of 22 turns, your new race leader is now Matt Kenseth. We head to turn 23 of this 55-turn race with a middle group challenge. Oops, it was a 4. For it looks like for reflex. And it looks like we are going to begin with Clint Boyer with the challenges. He will pass. He will fail on the red 5. This is for reflex, so he has 2 challenges. So that he failed the first, but he passes on, and he passed with a red 2 on the second one, going for car 2. That's Carl Edwards, and it'll be enough to keep him at bay with a blue die 2. Dale Earnhardt Sr. with 1 challenge for reflex. Passes with a 3, goes to car 4. Tony Stewart, yes, and with a blue 6, that'll be an automatic win, but Tony Stewart is going to keep Senior at bay in the middle group. As Stewart cashes in his chip, and Jimmy Johnson will now take a crack at it with 2 challenges for reflex. The first will pass, going after Jerry Nato, and a blue 6 does allow Jimmy Johnson to take the lead to win, but Jerry Nato has a chip, so he's going to use that, and Jimmy Johnson will have 1 more chance. And he passes. He goes after Carl Edwards, and a 2 is well within the brake rating, so Jimmy Johnson will stay put. And we move on to Ward Burton. He passes with a 1, and he's going after Jerry Nato, and that is going to unseat Jerry Nato from second place as Ward Burton now crawls into second place as we continue on with Riggs does not have reflex. Burton does, and that's going to fail. McMurray doesn't. Logano doesn't. Ricky Rudd will have our next challenge. That's going to be a pass. Going for car 3, that's Denny Hamlin. And a blue 6 is going to pass. As Denny Hamlin will drop to 10th, but still in the top 10. As Ricky Rudd will now be in 4th place. As we now go to Mark Martin, the final challenge for reflex in this turn. That's going to pass. Ward Burton in spot number 1 in second place. And it's going to be over the limit as Mark Martin will pass his challenge there for reflex and move into the top group. And that is going to be all she wrote for turn number 23. Matt Kenseth still is your race leader through the first 23 turns. And now we go on to turn number 24 of this race. Oh, and we got a duel. And it looks like 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our roll. So it looks like we have a duel and it looks like we have a 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 6 cars in the middle group. That's JP Montoya and Clint Boyer going at it. And let's see if they can try to take on. Let's see. JP is going to try to go for. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. JP Montoya is going to go for Ward Burton here. Try to gain some strength here, which he will. So Ward Burton will excuse me, will go to 19th, but currently sitting with escape problems. And Clint Boyer is going to try to unseat Jeff Gordon from 7th place. And he can't, as Jeff Gordon will stay put. So both Burton and Boyer both have escape problems, and they're going to have to roll on their escape problems. So beginning with Boyer of a 9 or less. Oh, and he is caught, so he's going to go for repairs. And Burton a 4 or less. And he too will go for repairs or less. So therefore, there is going to be one yellow flag coming out of this turn with Matt Kenseth still in the lead. And let's see, who is going to move up? Mike Skinner, 3 or less? Nope. Vickers, 3 or less? Yeah, so Brian Vickers is going to move up. Bill Elliott on a 5 or less? He will do so. And timeout while I rearrange the drivers in the bottom group, and we will get right to the repairs for Clint Boyer and Ward Burton in about a few seconds here. Timeout. And there we go. We are back as all the drivers have been reorganized and rearranged, and now we roll for the repair grades of both these drivers. Of the B, we're in the middle third of the race. So for Boyer, he's a pit grade of a B. It was a trouble. We'll say it was a trouble result, and it's going to be a 9 or less to get back into the race. And it will be enough to get Boyer back into the contest. And for Burton, he's a D. It's going to be a 7 or less. And it's just enough to keep him in this race for the repairs. And therefore, there is going to be one caution flag coming out of all this, coming out of the duel. And we will move on now to turn number 25 of this race here in this tribute race to honor Greg Biffle, who passed away on December 18th, 2025 in a plane crash in his home state of North Carolina. Middle group. And it looks like, we got TV drivers in the middle group. So only Jerry Nato is going to get the challenge. And he's going to pass, going for Mark Martin. And a 4, yes, he will unseat Mark Martin from the from second place and put him back into the middle group. And therefore, that is going to be your turn for turn number 25. As Matt Kenseth is still your race leader. Turn number 26 now we go to turn 26 with a result of a top group challenge for skill of a 7. That's for skill. The top group challenge for skill. Gordon doesn't have it. Bush doesn't have it. Tony Stewart has it, so he will challenge Matt Kenseth for the lead here. And a red 5 will not do it for Tony Stewart. Ricky Rudd will have a shot at it. He will fail. And Carl Edwards will have our last challenge here in this group, which will pass. And Matt Kenseth with a blue 6. Yes, that'll be an automatic win, but Matt Kenseth has a chip, and he will spend it to keep Carl Edwards at bay to retain the lead for the moment. And after 26 turns, we head to the pit stop on turn 27. No one has performance chips as we head to turn 27 and our second pit stop of this tribute race to Greg Biffle. If only I can keep my dice on the table. And with that being said, let's see who is going to take some fast pits. And it looks like we got a 4. And it's going to be, I saw 4 and 5. There, yes, I did. So it's going to be 4 and 5. So drivers in the 4 and 5 spot are going to swap places in both top and middle group. And we're going to check who has fast pits. So 4, that is going to be the middle group. So middle group is going to have chips. Let me just double check for the pits. So if I rolled a 3 or 4, which I did, you will check the middle group drivers. And again, this leader counts. Yeah, I think whoever is making it into the middle. So whatever. All right. So let's get into the fast pits. Starting with JP Montoya, 7 or less. 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Truex, 5 or less. No. Denny Hamlin, 9 or less. He will get a chip. Joey Logano, a 7 or less. Indeed, he will get one of these bad boys, a blue chip. Jamie McMurray, a 6 or less. That's not going to cut it. 6 or less for Jeff Burton. No, it's a 7. 10 or less on Jimmy Johnson. With a 9, that's going to Do so for JJ, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, 8 or less. With a 5, yes, that's going to give him chips. Scott Riggs, a 5 or less. You bet. He got a 4, and that's going to be well enough to give him a chip. Mark Martin, 7 or less. With a 6, that's going to be a chip for Mark Martin. Brian Vickers, a 5 or less. With a 6, no. And finally, Bill Elliott, 6 or less. Nope, that's not going to be enough. So we are going to rearrange the drivers here as I think if I'm playing this right, Denny Hamlin would be considered the race leader for now. But let me know if in the comments if I'm playing this right. So NATO will go to here. Joey has a chip. No. Jimmy Johnson has a chip as he goes into third. I think I'm playing this right, but let me know in the comments if I am. So Bush will place Scott Riggs, or excuse me, Riggs will place Bush, and Mark Martin is back in the top group once again. There we go. As Tony Stewart will move to 17th. And there we go. And now let's see who's going to challenge the leader, the new leader, Denny Hamlin. It looks like it's going to be car number 3. That's Dale Earnhardt Sr. And let's see what he does. That'll be a good challenge. But Denny Hamlin has a chip. He will successfully defend and not waste his. But Dale Earnhardt Sr. will be in the smart driver that he is. Maybe, maybe not. But he will decide to not spend his chip. He will keep it. And we will move on from this pit stop with Denny Hamlin for right now. I think I'm playing this correct. Denny Hamlin will be your race leader after 27 turns, and we now head into the 28th turn with our next challenge coming from, it looks like a middle group challenge it's a problem in the middle group. All right, it's a problem in middle group. So something's going down. Let's see who it could be. Oh, and it's doubles. So 11 in the middle group. That's driver number 1 odd. Driver 1 odd. That's Martin Truex Jr. And a 66. Oh, wow. Lost engine and out of the race. So Martin Truex Jr. lost his engine and is out of the race. So Martin Truex Jr. is on the list of DNFs, and your leader is still Denny Hamlin as we move all of the cars up in the middle group. And we're going to have one driver from the bottom group come on down to take 19th place, and let's see who it is. Skinner? Nope. Harvick? It will be Harvick. And we will take a quick timeout before we begin our next turn. Timeout. And there we go, and we are back as, of course, our first DNF would go to Martin Truex Jr. as he was unable to finish the race as he lost his engine. And our next turn is going to... Yep, I think that's correct. So we finished turn 28. So Denny Hamlin is still your race leader, and we now move on to a 42-car field as we move on to turn number 29. Oh, and we got a duel. Another duel against, it'll be the number 3 cars in the middle group. That is going to be Edwards and Burton. I think Edwards and Burton are going to give a try here to challenge Jeff Gordon. Edwards is going to fail on a red 6. Burton 4 or less, he will win the duel. And both Burton and Gordon both fail, and we're going as they both went after Jeff Gordon, as Carl Edwards needs to roll a 10 or less, or excuse me, a 9 or less to escape. He's good. And 7 or less on Jeff Burton. Oh man, he's going to be collected. So another yellow flag turn will be coming up here pretty. I just want to make sure about something. Yeah, no flag there. Yep, no flag on the Truex DNF, as Martin Truex clearly did not finish the race. As we will continue on with Jeff Burton, as he is collected by the duel, and we're going to see if he can roll for his repair. But first, we got to find out who is coming from the bottom group to move the chains, so to say. Mike Skinner with a 3 or less. And it will be Mike Skinner to come on into 19th. And we're going to take a quick timeout while I rearrange the bottom group drivers in their order. Timeout. Of course, one yellow flag. As we welcome you back, one yellow flag turn will be coming out from this repair here, as Jeff Burton needs to roll a +1 in his repair. It's the middle third of the race, and it was on a problem, or excuse me, on a trouble from the duel. And again, timeout as I drop my dice. Timeout. And I am back as I found my red die that I dropped on the floor. And now we will move on to Jeff Burton to see if he can roll in the middle third of the race for trouble 8 or less. Excuse me, 9 or less. Oh, and Jeff Burton is going to be out of the race, as he will not finish this race. But still, yellow flag will come out, as he was collected. Jeff Burton, as he did not finish at turn number 29. We now move on to the next lap with one caution flag out for Denny Hamlin, still in the lead. And now we move on to turn number 30 in this second stage, with only 8 more turns to go. Let me just correct myself. If I am certain about that, I just want to make sure. As the turns at turn 37, so 7 more turns to be played here in this group. And let's get right into things with turn number 30 here in the tribute race to Greg Biffle. Top group, and it looks like it's going to be for TV. Reflex. I'm sorry, for Reflex. Jeff Gordon is going to lead us off for the Reflex challenges. And a red die 3 will pass, a blue die 6 will win it, but Hamlin has a chip and he will cash that in. But the first challenge is successful, but Hamlin spent the chip to fend him off. And in the second challenge, this time for real, Jeff Gordon will move into first place. And he will unseat Hamlin from the first and move him to seventh place. So here now is Mark Martin, who has reflex, who is going to fail, but he's going to spend his chip to unseat Jeff Gordon from the lead and put himself in the driver's seat in first place. Let's see. Dale Earnhardt has a challenge for reflex. He will pass. Need a and yes, he will keep his chip, as Martin didn't stay in first place for long. As Dale Earnhardt Sr. will race on in to seal first place here for the moment. And now Jimmy Johnson will take a crack at the lead here with two challenges for reflex. Here's his first as he passes. Need a 4, so that's a good defense. But let's see what the second challenge brings for Jimmy. And a red 6 will pass. But again, Earnhardt has a chip. I think it's not wise to spend his. Neither Johnson could spend his, but he's going to allow Joey Logano to try to take advantage, even though he doesn't have reflex. So on that note, we'll end the challenges there. And that's going to be it. Turn number 30, we'll see the great Dale Earnhardt Sr. come into the lead as we head to turn number 31. It looks like we got a middle group challenge for Smart. Middle group challenge for Smart. And we got Mike Skinner up now for this challenge for Smart as he will pass. Go in for car 3, that's Martin. And he will unseat Martin from fourth place. So going from first to fourth and all the way to 19th. Holy. As we move on to the next challenger in Kevin Harvick. It's for Smart, and he will fail. Bill Elliott doesn't have it, so Brian Vickers will now have the challenge. A red 6 will fail. And Tony Stewart will now have 2 cracks at it. Here's his first. The first one fails on a red 6. Here's his second. The second one will pass his gas check. Going for car 5, that's Jeff Gordon. And enough to keep him at bay. Here is Kyle Busch. He will pass, going for car 6, that's Denny Hamlin. And he will unseat Hamlin from the 7th place position and bump him down 7 spots into 14th with a blue 6 for an automatic win. Jerry Nadeau has small. Let me just double check. Rudd, no. Edwards, no. McMurray, yes. Jerry Nadeau is the next challenger here for Smart. We passes with his gas pedals of a red 1. Going for car number 4, that's Scott Riggs. And that's going to be enough to win, but Scott Riggs has a chip and he will save it. Or excuse me, he will use it, I should say, to keep Jerry Nadeau at bay. So JP Montoya is up next now. And a red 6 will fail. And that's it for the challenges, as your race leader for through 31 challenges, or 31 turns, I should say, is Dale Earnhardt Sr. Greg Biffle is still sitting. No, is still sitting in. Let's see, second, first, 40th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 34th place. here in the race so far. And we will continue on here to turn 32 with, it looks like we got a bottom group challenge for skill. Oh, and Greg Biffle will have a chance to move up in the middle group. Let's see if he can do so. But first, let's start with Ward Burton, as he is a challenger for skill, as he will pass, going for 6 even. That's Kevin Harvick, and that's going to be enough to move Ward Burton up from last place to 18th, from 41st to 18th place. That's probably the hugest jump of the race so far. If to this turn, Jimmy Spencer will have his cracks at it now. He passes on the gas. He's going for 5. Excuse me, 5 even. Vickers, that is going to unseat. That's for 7 skill. Yeah, Dale Jarrett is next. So Jimmy Spencer will unseat 5 even. 5 even is Vickers. He will unseat Vickers for 16th place. And here's Dale Jarrett. Red 6 will fail. And here comes Greg Biffle. He has 2 challenges. A red 5 will not do such. And of course, both challenges fail on the red 5 and red 6. So Sadler, no. Nemechek, no. This is for skill. David Runneman now has a chance here, and he will fail on the red 6. Ryan Newman is up next, as he has 2 challenges, and here is the first. He will pass 6 even. That's Burton, and he will slide his way from 30th to 18th as he sends Ward Burton back into the bottom group. And we move on to Ricky Craven, who has skill. Pass on the red 2, 2 even. That's Jerry Nadeau, so he will pass his checks with a blue 6, so both drivers will swap automatically, and we move on to, let's see, for skill. Yes, Michael Waltrip has 2 challenges for skill. He will pass on the first with a 1 odd. That's Matt Kenseth, well within range, as he has another challenge to hopefully move out of the bottom group. And a 5 will pass. Again, 1 odd. He's going after Matt Kenseth, and this time he will unseat Kenseth. Michael Waltrip will unseat Matt Kenseth from the lead, or excuse me, from 9th place, I should say, as we go to Sterling Marlin with skill. Then you guys know it's Sterling Marlin based on the die. 4 pass, as he will go after 4 even. That is Denny Hamlin. And he will unseat Hamlin. Ken Schrader is next to challenge. And let's see what he can do. A red 6 will not do such. Here's Brad Keselowski. And a red 6 will not do such. Dale Jr. Pass. Red 1 odd. That's Michael Waltrip. And yep, he will unseat Waltrip from 9th to back down to the bottom group in 21st place. Goes Michael Waltrip, and Bobby Labonte will have our last challenge for skill, as he will pass with a red 2, 4 even. That's Sterling Marlin, and that's enough to hold him. And that's enough to hold him in the bottom group, as we have now reached 32 turns have been complete, have been raced here in this tribute race to Greg Biffle. And now we move on. Now we will move on to turn number 34. And we will have our next challenges come from the middle group. And it'll be for skill again. And it looks like Mark Martin will start us off. And a red 3 will pass. He's going for car 1. And it's a blue 6 with a win. But Joey Logano has a chip, so he's going to waste it. He's going to cash it in to keep Mark Martin at bay. Here's Ryan Newman. 2 challenges for Newman. Here's the first. Fails on the first with a red 5. And he passes on the second, going for car 6. That's Kyle Busch. And a blue 6 will automatically send Busch back into 18th place from 7th. And we move on to Bill Elliott's first challenge of 2, as he fails on the red die of a 6. And here we go with the next challenge. And he will fail on both challenges for skill of a red 6. And we move on to Jimmy Spencer. A 3 will pass. A 1 will go after Logano. And yes, he will unseat Logano as he moves from 2nd to 16th. Is Logano, as Jimmy Spencer is now trying to heat up here in this race, but how long? But for how long? As we move on to Tony Stewart's challenge, he will pass, going after Ryan Newman, and that is going to be a successful challenge for Tony Stewart as he moves Ryan Newman back into 15th, and he pops right in to the top, as Tony Stewart is back in the top group, we're going after Sterling Marlin now for his challenges. We got a 2. He passes, going after Tony Stewart. And he's got a 5. Yep, that's going to unseat Tony Stewart. And Tony Stewart is back in the middle group, and Ryan Newman is right on his tail. Here's Ricky Rudd. He passes. He goes after, I think I saw 5. Yep. So a 5, he goes after Jeff Gordon, and that's going to be enough to hold him off. We now go after Carl Edwards. Red 6 will fail. Here's Jamie McMurray's challenges. He passes on his gas rating of a red 3, going after car number 4. That is Scott Riggs. And it's going to be enough to unseat Riggs from the top group, from the top 10, from 5th to 11th place. Ricky Craven, that's going to be a failed challenge on the red 5. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is next. He's the last one to challenge here, as he will pass, going after car number 2. That's Jimmy Johnson, as he has 2 breaks against the 1. Yep, he will hold, but he has a chip. He will hold Dale Jr. at bay. So with that being said, turn number 33 is come and gone. And still your race leader is Dale Earnhardt Sr. We head now to turn 34. We're still in the middle third of this race. And let's see what the challenges are coming from. Oh, it's going to be top group. Oh, and it's triple ones. So, so it's going to be a problem. Oh, challenge results that are triples. So it's going to be trouble in the top group. So top group equals the race leader. So we will see if Dale Earnhardt Sr. has enough to escape. So it's going to be a 6 or less for Senior. Enough to keep his chip of a 3, yes. So Spencer, 5 or less. He will stay put. Jimmy Johnson, a 7 or less. Yes, he will stay put with a 7. McMurray will, let's see here. McMurray, 7 or less. He got it. Did I skip over Skinner? I think I did. But if I didn't, just in case, Skinner 5 or less. He's good. Jeff Gordon, I already did McMurray. Jeff Gordon 6 or less. Oh, and Jeff Gordon is collected. And let's see, Sterling Marlin, 4 or less. And he is collected. So 2 cars have been collected. And that's going to equal 1 flat, 1 yellow coming out for this turn. And let's see who from the from the bottom group is going to go into 18th and 19th. Let's see. Labonte needs a 5 or less. Nope. Michael Waltrip, same, 5 or less. Nope. Brad Keselowski, 3 or less. Nope. Ken Schrader, 4 or less. So Ken Schrader will move up into 18th place. And Jeremy Mayfield, 3 or less. Nope. Denny Hamlin, 4 or less. Nope. Matt Kenseth, 4 or less. Nope. Johnny Benson Jr., 3 or less. That's going to be a no. Jerry Nato, 3 or less. Nope. Robbie Gordon, 4 or less. Yes, sir. Robbie Gordon will move up on and up in the world, and we will take a quick timeout while I rearrange the drivers. Timeout. And there we go. We are back as we get set now to roll for the repairs for both Gordon and Marlin. So we add 1 on to the trouble. And let's see. We're in the middle third, 10 or less for Gordon. Oh, and Jeff Gordon is out as I roll a 46. So Jeff Gordon is out of the race. So he did not finish. Jeff Gordon, who led for almost all this race, for some of this race, I should say, is out. And here comes Sterling Marlin, who had a C plus 1, 7, so 8 or less, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, just barely. Just barely. He is back into it. So Sterling Marlin is the only driver to escape trouble. And with that being said, 1 yellow flag turn will be coming up. And we are going to have Dale Earnhardt Sr. remain in the lead as we head to turn number 35. And we got a couple more turns before the end of this stage. And let's see what's cooking for this turn. It's going to be a middle group challenge for control. And it looks like it's going to begin with Mark Martin. He'll pass, going for Earnhardt with a 6 in car 6. And of course, that is going to be it as he keeps him at bay. Busch does not have it. This is again for control. Elliott, no. Logano, no. Newman, no. Stewart, no. Ricky Rudd is ready to take his cracks at it, and he will fail with the red die 4. Carl Edwards, 2 challenges. Here's his first. Pass, going for car 5, and he will unseat JP Montoya from 10th all the way to 6th place. Scott Riggs will be our final challenger here for control, as he will pass, going after Spencer. And that's not going to be enough for Jimmy Spencer to maintain his position in 2nd place. So he is still in the top 10, but Scott Riggs has now moved up to 2nd place. And now with turn number 30, and now with turn number 35 done, Dale Earnhardt Sr. is going to maintain the lead as we head to the 36th turn, I should say, my fault. 36th turn of this race. Die is on his edge. I will re-roll. Middle group for control. 6, 7, yep, middle group for control. So Mark Martin has another chance to get at it. And a red die 5 will pass, going after Jamie McMurray, and he will unseat McMurray from the ever dangerous top group. Ricky Rudd will have another challenge here, another crack at it. 2 will pass. A red 2 will pass, going after car number 1, which is Scott Riggs, and it will be enough to defend. And we move on to Jimmy Spencer. And a red 5 will fail, and that is going to be all she wrote for this turn. And we head into the pits with Dale Earnhardt, Sr. as our leader. And this pit stop will add one more turn to this stage, and then we will end this stage, because normally for this race, stage 2 would end at this turn, which is turn 37. Therefore, we will end stage. Yeah, we'll end stage. We'll add one more turn to this stage, and then we will end it with. And then we will end this portion and head off to stage 3. With that being said, let's head to the pits. And it looks like cars 2 and 6 will swap, and top group is going to 2 and 6 are going to swap in both middle and top groups. And it looks like the top group is going to have fast pit challenges. Let's see what they can do. Dale Earnhardt, 8 or less. He is gonna get a chip. Another chip. Scott Riggs, 5 or less. Die on its edge, a reroll. He will get a chip with a 2. With Earnhardt of 9 or less, he gets a chip. All right, over here. Skinner, 4 or less. That's not going to cut it. Mark Martin with a 7 or less. A 6 is going to do it, as he will get a chip. Mike Skinner. I'm sorry, not Mike Skinner. Sorry. Carl Edwards, 10 or less. Yes, sir. And Jimmy Johnson, 10 or less. He will get himself a chip as well. So Mike Skinner will race off into 7th place after this pit turn. Still in the top 10. But who is going to challenge Mr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the lead? Car number 2, that's Dale Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to challenge his proud papa to the lead. Let's see what he can do. He will pass, and it's going to be a successful defense. But here's the catch. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to keep his chip, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. is going to keep his chip as well. So that is going to be interesting as we head into the final turn of this stage. As we head into the final turn of this stage, as we head now to turn 38 with a bottom group challenge. Again, this is an extra turn added on to this stage. For 6, that is going to be for Star. It looks like Sterling Marlin is going to kick us off for the challenges. He will pass, going for 4 even. That's Joey Logano. He will unseat Logano from the 14th position. And here's Kevin Harvick with a Star challenge. The red 6 is going to not do it. Rusty Wallace is next, as Clint Boyer doesn't have the challenge quality for Star. And he passes on his gas, going for 1 even. That's Ricky Craven, and he will unseat Craven. Vickers, no. Bush, no. Casey Kane will have the next challenge, as Ricky Craven is now back in the bottom group. And Casey Kane with a Star of 4 has a Star challenge, I should say. Sorry about that. And a red 6 will not do such. Dale Jarrett is up next. Red 6 will not do it. Here comes Greg Biffle. This could be his chance to get back in the middle group and into this race. And a red 6 will not do it. Elliott Sadler will go next. He passes. 1 even. That is Rusty Wallace. And a 3 will unseat Wallace. Matt Kenseth will take his axe at his challenges next. And here comes Matt Kenseth. And it's going to be good with a red 3. 3 odd. That's Ryan Newman. And that's going to be enough to unseat Newman from 13th place. And riding his way into 13th is Matt Kenseth. Denny Hamlin is now up next. 5 will fail. And Michael Waltrip and Bobby Labonte are your final challengers here. We got a red 4. It's good. 1 even. That is Elliott Sadler. And that's going to be enough to move Sadler back into the bottom group. And we now move on to Bobby Labonte, who passes, 1 even. That's Michael Waltrip. He was just there. Man, oh man, 8th is really hard to come by if you're the bottom group. So Bobby Labonte is the only guy that moves up, and or no, a lot of guys. I think a couple of guys were able to move up from the bottom group, and that's good. So Dale Earnhardt will lead as we head into the final stage of this race. And your top 10 after stage 2 is Dale Earnhardt Sr., Scott Riggs in second, Dale Jr. is in third, Mark Martin's in fourth, Carl Edwards in fifth, Jimmy Johnson in sixth, Mike Skinner in seventh, Bobby Labonte in eighth, Jimmy Spencer in ninth, and Ken Schrader in 10. That's what your top 10 looks like. And before we get to the third stage, here is your race summary for so far through 2 stages.